Marnie Green is a principal consultant at Management Education Group based in Chandler, Arizona. She spoke with us about creating painless performance evaluations. Why do you say traditional performance evaluations are often painful for both employers and employees?
The first reason I think they're painful is because they're filled with surprises, and that managers don't do a good job sometimes of giving feedback on a regular basis to employees. So when employees are surprised about the performance evaluation, the contents of it, it becomes painful. The second reason that they become painful is because we often approach the performance evaluation as an event of something that we do to employees. And I don't know that anybody wants to be done to. So it's really about creating an environment where employees feel engaged. And the third reason why performance evaluations oftentimes I think are painful is because they really focus on the past. And the past is something that oftentimes the employee can't do anything about. And the manager feels like that's what they need to focus on. And so it becomes a very adversarial conversation without a lot of forward movement.
What are some ways employers can create more effective performance evaluations?
I think the first step is to change the mindset about the evaluation being an event at the end of the year, and to really even change our vernacular and start using the term employee performance management, which implies a day-to-day activity that managers do rather than an event at the end of the year. So seeing it as an ongoing process is the first step. The second thing that we need to remember is that employees need to be engaged in the process, and when they are, they're going to feel like it's a much more positive process. Ways that we can engage employees in the process: one is to have employees participate in the process of setting meaningful goals. Goals that are tied to the organization's ultimate strategic plan, so that employees understand how their daily activities contribute to something bigger. The second thing that we can do to engage employees in the process is to encourage them and teach them to track their own performance milestones. So I encourage employees to keep a record of the highlights of their performance, their significant accomplishments, maybe any challenges that they had, so that if the manager asks them, tell me a little bit about how you perceive how you're doing, you've got some tangible content to share with the manager. Finally, I like to see employers implement as part of their performance management systems an employee self-assessment. Now, a self-assessment would be a tool that the employee fills out prior to the manager completing the performance evaluation. And the manager would then consider the employee's input related to their performance before they just make a judgment about how the employee did. So the self-assessment could include questions like, what were your most significant accomplishments this year? What were your biggest challenges this year? What goals would you like to pursue in the coming year? Where would you like to focus your own development? And maybe a question like, what can we do to help support you and help you become more satisfied as an employee here?
And what results can employers expect to see with this new system?
You know, when employers take the approach of a painless performance evaluation, making sure there's continuous communication with no surprises, that it's future focused, employees are engaged, what we find is that the entire process is much less adversarial and more collaborative, where employees then feel much more engaged, they feel like their contributions are recognized, and I think they are able to see how it fits into a larger picture, how they contribute to corporate goals. And then as a result of that, we end up with happier employees, more engaged employees, and I know for a fact we end up with less stressed out managers. And I think that's a benefit as well.